Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and I'm going to put the cherry 4-flat box fold piece together today. So I was just getting ready to cut it out, and this whole set of cherry inspired items started out as a swap with a friend on my Etsy group called Jesus Junk Journals Creators, and her name is Cherry, and so she likes things with cherries on them. And so I thought, well, I'll design this 4-flat box fold, and it was so much fun. I looked at as I was looking for sources and things, and so I decided to just do a whole group of items and put them out on Etsy. So kind of got two things done at once. So hoping you like them, hoping people who like themed items, cherry, fruit, just bright and cheery things would like this. And so I'm going to show you how to put it together. I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting it out, and then I'll be back. Okay, I've got everything cut out. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this on these lines. You can score them first if you like. I probably should have. And use a folding bone folder, whatever you want to call it. Get really good and flat. I printed on the back. This is just a bad print, so here's the good side. So don't be confused by that. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to glue the flaps. Now, let me show you, there's a couple of different ways you can do this because these flaps are interchangeable. So I did the whole set up that looked like this for the outside of it, if you want them all to be uniform and the same. And these were the ones that were for the inside, or however you want to do it. But these are going to go like this. And this goes at the top just because then when it's open, you can it's readable for the music side, but you know, it's a minor point. If you want that at the bottom, you could certainly put it down there. So that's one way. And then we're going to flip it over and do the cover, what will end up being the cover when it's folded up. Now, what you can do is switch these out to the front if you want a little more variety, and put these on the inside like that. And so then that means on the cover you would have this flap, and then this will fold down, and then one of these flaps and one of these flaps, and then we'll fold it in a box fold, so it would be kind of like, this is how it would look, if it matters to you. And I think I'm going to do this, just so it's not quite so much the same. I'm going to do something like that. So that means, okay, so let me pull these back off. So what that means is I'm going to use these like this. So what I'm going to do, I just tore a strip off. I've got some cotton muslin, unbleached muslin, and I tore a strip that's half an inch probably. And I like to tear it so you get that nice edge. So I'm trying to get the strings off of it. And of course it gets all curled up when you pull it, when you rip it. So straighten it out. It gets all curled up when you pull it. So take it and just run your fingers over it and stretch it back out. And so what I think I want to do is use this as the instead of washi tape, which you can use washi tape on the edges, but I like the look of this, so I'm going to glue this in to reinforce it. And you can also, if you don't like the plain white, you can use your Distress Ink sprays to change the color of them. And I might do that on the outside just to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so so this is just to reinforce this, obviously, because it's already attached. These are not attached, so this is actually going to be the hinge that holds them on there. So you want to get these butted up against the paper, and they're a little bit smaller, so you want to, you know, even them out so they're centered. And then I'm going to get my Fabri-Tac glue. Hopefully it'll cooperate with me this morning. And I put a little bit of Fabri-Tac on each side. And kind of, like I said, run your finger over it, kind of pull it, and that'll straighten it out. And then just lay that on there. And do the same thing all the way around. Looks to curl, doesn't it? Okay. Ooh, okay. I don't want that. I don't want that Fabri-Tac that close to the quote. I'm going to scrape that back. Okay. Okay, so that should fold up, yep, like that, like that. And we'll do the sides. Pull this out so it's pretty straight. All right, so that folds in. Just ignore this. On yours, it'll be plain white, hopefully. But I reused some paper that had a bad print on one side, so. Okay, and then we're gonna flip it over and glue these flaps. And let's see, let's lay it out so we know we've got the right ones. So when this folds up, it'll be right, it's upside down now, so when you fold it up, it'll read. So now I'm going to take my paper glue, my Barely Art glue that keeps pulling the top out of it. pin out and glue your flaps over these. And I want to make sure. And actually, you don't have to glue it super good if you're going to stitch it on the machine, which looks really cool. So get it lined up just right. Make sure the edges are flush with each other as best you can. You can always trim it down later if you need to. Put a little bit more fabric tack right there. I haven't tried this before. I don't think I've tried this before. I can't remember, but usually what I use is washi tape, and it's thinner. This is a little thicker, so we're gonna make sure when I get done that this lays right. Okay, so we've got this one glued. Make sure it folds. Okay, and go on with this one. I think I am going to stitch this one, so not as much glue maybe as I would if I wasn't going to stitch it. Line this up perfectly, or as close to it as you can get. Don't worry if there's any little white flashes, because we're going to use Distress ink on the edges later, so that'll cover that. Okay, then we're going to do this one. Get that lined up really well. Whoa. Oh, okay. Got way off on that one. Wow. That's why you want to flip it over and check it. Okay. That's good. It's another time when Barely Art glue is great, because it will let you pull it up and reposition it, like sort of. If you use art glitter glue, it's not so forgiving, but. Okay. Now this side, I think I'm going to do the same. I'm going to try using the fabric on it too. I just like the look of it. Definitely cut it, if anything, cut it short. Don't cut it long, because you don't want any extra fabric in the way. And I mean, it really doesn't have to be completely all the way across, because it's still going to hold it. It's, okay. Pulling my string while I'm waiting for the fabric tack to run down. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna go on. I might as well just do all four. Well, I've got the fabric tack cooperating. Okay, so pull it to get it straight, get any extra strings off. Did I get the right side? Yeah, boy, I did cut that really short. Okay. A little bit more under there if I can get it to come out. Boy, this really curled up. Okay, so I'm pulling on that, get that straight. Okay, hopefully this is still sticky. Got that, okay. And then this one. And it looks like this is going to need little bit of extra. I'm going to pull that off. I had it a little too far over on that front flap. I want as much of this to show as I can, so I'm just barely letting it hang over the edge, I think. Okay. Got those glued, Make sure it all folds together. And then we can add the pockets. These are the pockets. And we're going to glue those here, 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 and here. And yes, this one will go over the cloth, but that's okay. You know, I didn't put the pocket at the top because you put things in, and so when it's open, the pocket to me always looks better at the bottom and works better at the bottom. So I made the pocket at the bottom. So I'm going to put glue on this pocket. Pretty straightforward. Make sure it doesn't go past that where it folds, or it'll give you trouble. Oh, you know what else I was going to do? Sorry. Is I was going to cut a little bit of a divot in the pockets. So let me see if I can do that. So I'm just kind of eyeballing where the middle is. And actually, I'm going to wipe the glue off. I always forget to use the distress ink until after I've glued things in. So I am going to stop, and I'm going to ink this. And I mean, I did kind of ink it on digitally. It's got a dark edge, but I like the distress ink. I think it's just gives it a good, really good color. Of course, I like a lot of distress ink on my stuff. I'll probably go too far, but okay. So that one, let me cut this one. Let's see. Just kind of getting back and looking at it, getting the general, just cutting a small little half moon out. And then this one, okay, ink it. And really, it's just this edge that needs it because we're going to go around the edges later. So I just need to make sure I get this side where the cut is inked. And if you forget, I mean, you can always slip a piece of paper under it and kind of sort of dab at it that way, but it's a lot more difficult and it doesn't look quite as nice. Okay, all right, so now back to what I was doing, which is gluing them in. I've got this one in my hand, so I'm just going to go ahead and glue it in now. And then I'll go back and re-glue the first one. Okay. It's pretty simple. And oh, I've got one more, don't I? Okay, I'm gonna go to the machine when I get these all glued in. stitch around them. Okay, so now you want to double check that everything folds right. And it is a little tighter than normal because of all the fabric, but it's still gonna, I think, be worth it for the way it looks. This is how it'll, let's see, you fold it however you want. It's a box fold, so you can either put that side in or that side in. So let's see, how does that go? I always have to think about this. And these flaps are strong and tough, so don't worry about, don't worry, you're not gonna mess it up when you bend them to get them in there. Okay, so fold it up and make sure that it lays straight, lays flat. Okay, and I'm gonna go stitch it on the machine. And so what I'm gonna do is just like go around all of these outside edges, and then I will be right back. Okay, I stitched it around the outside edge and thought I had my video camera on, and so I'm just talking away and everything, and then I realized that I did not have my video camera on. So what I did is I stitched the outside, and then I took my vintage photo distress inks and I hit all the outside edges on both sides, and that helps. Like if you have these white flashes, it makes them just kind of disappear, look like they're supposed to be there. You can always trim them off. If you want to trim that back, you could. And so anyway, it's all inked, and what I was saying to myself and no one else is, you know, this is just a great verse. For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans for prosperity and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. This is the New American Standard Translation. And, you know, I kind of have to go with the ones I have permission for. I have permission to use New American Standard and, of course, King James. So if you're wondering why I use that a lot, that's why. And so this is great for, you can put other scriptures in here. And if you wanted to give this to somebody just as a standalone item, you could. Or you can put glue on the back, glue it into your journal, and do it that way. And then, of course, it folds two ways because it's a box fold. So you can fold it this way if you want the color and all that out on the outside. Or if you want more of the cherries to show, see if I can get this to do right, you just fold it this way. And don't worry about tucking these flaps in. You can manhandle them pretty much, and they are fine. And there's with the cherries showing on the outside. So either way you fold it, and then, like I said, fold it up, give it away. How do I want that? I kind of like the color, so let's see. And this tucks in. Okay. No, that's the cherries. Oh, well, whatever. Okay. And I notice, of course, I just now found my microphone. So I hope you can hear me. But anyway, so this works as a freestanding item. You wouldn't have this on the back of yours because I used a bad print and reprinted on it. So this would be white on yours. So you could give this away as a nice little gift. And then when they open it up, there it is. So anyway, I hope you liked it. If you did, click the like button and think about subscribing. And I will move on to the next item in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.